this irritating? Welcome home, her diaper needs to be changed. Does anyone else's baby do this? He normally does it a bunch more times in a row where he just like rhythmically turns his head back and forth like that and like that. And he's rubbing a bald spot in the back of his head. I'll try to remember to film it later. Why is he doing that? That's pretty nice. Got your bear onesie on. Swinging on the bench, on the porch. With a view like that. Not a bad Sunday, eh, Bear? So I'm letting him spend his nap time out here, hoping that he would actually nap. And he's keeping himself really busy with those leggies. You need to take a nap, buddy. The things you do for a good nap. He fell asleep on the swing, so we're going to try to transfer him to his crib before he's too awake.
Good luck.
And little Boo Bear was kind of, it sounded like he was fussing again, so I went up there to kind of soothe him and put a passy in his mouth if he needed it. And when I looked over the crib, he just smiled real big up at me. And I think he was just up there talking to somebody, or a shadow. Yeah, weren't you, Boo Bear? Did you just want to get up and play? I understand. Oh. Is that a fart? Yes. I'm glad she did that. It reminded me I need to change her diaper from an earlier event. Morning, Bear. Good morning. Yeah, you're escaping your naps today like a champ. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yay! Touchdown! Jeez. Kansas City. Yep. Look at those little piggies. Talking? So, her diaper needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Welcome home, her diaper needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Story of our lives. You know, we don't spend as much time changing diapers as I thought we would.
No, we really don't.
I thought with twins, like you would just be, every time you turn around, you'd be changing a diaper. And I guess it kind of was that way when they were newborns, because they would just like wet fart immediately into their fresh diaper, which they don't do as often. But yeah, the diapering situation has been pleasantly not as consuming, overwhelming as I thought.
Gorgeous day.
Yeah, no kidding. I think we need to go to the swimming pool.
Barb's not having a lot of luck out there.
It's only been like 5 minutes.
I know, but there's like a lot of slime on the pond.
Uh-oh. Too slimy?
What?
The pond's too slimy?
Yeah.
Yesterday she was using the junky fishing pole that we had, and she would like cast it and it would flip around and land on the ground behind her. And then if she finally did get it out there, it would go straight into the branch, into the moss. Oh my gosh, prove it. Oh shoot, I missed it. We'll have to rewind the clip. But then snare the branch into the moss. Uh-oh. Hungry? You wanna, whoop.
She's like,
bonked her nose.
she's like, I'm not hungry, you're
You
just
wanna eat?
touching my cheeks every 10 seconds.
Is this irritating? I think she's hungry,
Probably.
per usual.
Yeah.
Just like her mom.
And her dad.
Man, her hair. Look how red it is.
That looks real red.
I know. Got a little redhead on her hands. Here she goes. Holy cow.
That'll do.
Can you make it land on the other bank? Could you make it go into the street over there? You could catch bicyclists that go by. That would be hilarious. Son-in-law of the year. Picking some flowers for his mother-in-law. So sweet. Those are gorgeous. Those are from this plant right out here.
They're pretty.
Right?
Yep.
I just realized those pretty flowers are out there just this year. We've been here for 2 years. Neat.
Some about shit too.
Do 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 do. And then turn them around. Very nice. This kid loves Harry Potter. Cute. I've been waiting so long to use these. Shh. It's nap time. So Bear's naps have been an absolute wreck this week, especially like the first couple naps of the day. Of course, now that I have the camera rolling, he's gonna lay there and be quiet and asleep, but he's been tossing and turning and like letting out these cries, and he's knocked out now. That's funny. He literally just like let out this scream. I ran to the monitor and then he was tossing and turning a little bit. Now he's back asleep, but he's going through his second leap. Actually, they both are. If you're unfamiliar with leaps, you can Google like what is a baby leap, or you can download the app called the Wonder Weeks. You have to pay $3 for it, but it's worth it. And it kind of explains developmentally what they're going through. And there, see, he just. But then he like self-soothes and puts himself back to sleep. But it's just like a really restless nap, and I guess it's because he's going through his second leap, which is really cool to learn about because it's all about visual processing, visual development, the development of the visual cortex of the brain, how they're starting to recognize patterns, the internal facial features instead of just like looking at the edges of our head when they look at us. It's pretty cool. But Bear seems to be much more affected by leaps than Lyndall does, or maybe she is just gonna be a little bit late hitting this leap. But his naps have just been atrocious. I better go grab him. Just in the last week how much more interactive she's become, and Bear too, but her, more so her. She's been just like much more smiley, talking. She discovered this giraffe that's been here all along, but all of a sudden she's starting to look at it and smile at it. Yeah. 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 Wow. Oh goodness. And she'll look at us from across the room and smile. It's awesome. Oh, big yawn. Time for your nappy. So a few of you guys are really sweet and have mentioned that like I always seem calm or laid back in our videos, which yeah, I'm laid back in our videos because anytime I grab the camera, things are under control. So I don't want it to seem like I'm this mom, brand new mom of twins that like has all the answers or always has it together. That is absolutely not the case. And as I was just having my last meltdown, I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and capture the essence of my morning in a little monologue here, so that for one, you guys can understand I'm not always together, and for two, I want to look back on this and remember the good with the bad. remember that it was not easy to raise twins, and it was not easy to be a new mom. So, so here you go. This morning was rough. Bear's going through a leap, and it's just really affecting his naps. He is not napping well, and when he cries, Lyndall wakes up, and vice versa. So when I finally, hey Rio, when I finally do get Bear to sleep, then if Lyndall cries, he wakes up, and it just like starts the whole thing over again. And that's how things have been going for the last, it feels like the last week. It's probably just been a couple of days, but it feels like chaos to me. Their naps are crazy, their eating's crazy. I'm a person that really thrives on a schedule, so this is just, like, I know you can't always follow a schedule with infants. Rio, excuse me. So it's just been crazy, and it's really weighing on me. It's like wearing me down, and just day after day of this is really taking its toll. And also just not really having a break more than just to take a shower or go to the bathroom. So it's just been a lot. And today, my parents are leaving. They're going on a little weekend vacation, and my in-law parents are coming today. So it's a really cool day because the babies are gonna get to see all 4 of their grandparents in one day. It's exciting, and I'm really excited for Brad's parents to meet the babies. So anyway, we're like trying to get the house ready to put on the market. My parents are leaving. The babies are crazy. Neither of them are napping. The most nap they've had all day, and it's 2:30, was a half-hour nap. It's just been crazy. So it all came to a head right as my parents were leaving. Bear woke up from his nap right as Lyndall was fussy because she didn't get enough to eat. So I'm like, and our vlogging camera died. So I'm gonna take a hit on the quality and just get this clip finished. So anyway, everything came to a head right as my parents were leaving. Both the babies were crying. Lyndall was still hungry from not getting a full feeding, and I feel like it's my fault that my supply is tanking. Of course, Bear's waking up, he's hungry, he needs his diaper changed. It was nuts. So my only option was to take them up to the nursery together and tandem feed them, because when I started going into the freezer and pulling out like my supply that I had built up, my stash that I have had, it's over 100 ounces built up from when I had an oversupply before, and I've gradually been adding to it. So I start thawing out milk to put into a bottle for Lyndall to just like help her, because I can't offer her the other breast because that's for Bear. So anyway, I'm on like my 4th bag that I've thawed out, and they all smell sour to me. I haven't really got into my freezer supply, so this is like the first I've noticed or realized that this is the case. I noticed it because the first bottle I tried to feed her, she would like take a little bit and then refuse it. So I smelled it smelled sour. I'm like, well, shoot. So I grabbed one from a different day, smelled sour. I grabbed one from a different like brand of bag that I stored it in, smelled sour. The 4th bag I grabbed just from like a few days ago, sour. So, I mean, not only am I having a little bit of a meltdown because like both the babies are needing me at the same time, I'm getting ready to lose 2 extra hands of help. Just for a few hours, but it still seems overwhelming when they're both crying. But now I'm realizing that my entire freezer stash of breast milk is sour, and I have no idea why. Like, I feel like I've done everything right. I had it stored in the door for a little while, but our awesome subscribers commented and mentioned that you can't really do that, so I've had them stored in the back of the freezer. I felt like I did everything right, so I texted a few of my friends that are like really smart and really good moms, and they mentioned that I might just have a high lipase protein enzyme, something like that, and it makes it so that everything you store in the freezer ends up smelling sour and tasting soapy to the babies. So, and there's no way to recover it. There's nothing you can do with it. I think I have an entire freezer stash that is now trash. So I don't always have it together. In that moment when I realized that, I was sitting in the nursery tandem feeding. I don't think Lyndall's getting enough, and I think my entire freezer stash is trash, and I was just bawling. So that happened today. I do not have it together. It could be worse. Thank goodness for things like formula, and I'm not trashing formula. I'm not dogging on it. I think formula is fantastic, especially for moms who definitely can't breastfeed. If it's contraindicated from a medication, if they just don't have a good latch from the baby, if they can't pump, there's plenty of reasons that moms use formula. And one of the reasons is just that they don't like the idea of breastfeeding or don't do well with it. And forcing that breastfeeding relationship is going to hinder like the mother-baby bond, and I totally get it. It also is very stressful. When the babies are fussy or whatever, the first thing my mind goes to is, am I not providing enough for them? I somehow blame myself, and that's hard. You can't live that way day to day. So anyway, my goal was to exclusively breastfeed them. I felt like that freezer stash that I had was like a way I could limp along to about 6 months. I thought I could supplement with that if needed, if I got beyond the point where I could provide for them. And now I know that that's not going to be able to happen. I know that you can scald your breast milk and still store it, but I think if I'm going to be doing that, it leaches the immunity properties of the breast milk. I might as well just be formula feeding at that point. If I'm going to go to the trouble of scalding the milk so that I can freeze it and use it for them later, then I'm just going to give them formula. So it's been a rough morning, and I do not always have it all together. I have a lot of anxiety issues. Sometime I'll take a minute and talk about like what it's like living with anxiety and having 2 newborn babies, because that's rough. So just wanted to fill you guys in on that, and I hope you guys are having a great day. If you're a new mom or if you're a mom in general, you're doing a great job. Everything we do, I feel like, is for these babies, and there's no wrong answer. So keep up the good work, and I'll try not to be so hard on myself. So I had that huge meltdown session about my milk all being crap, and then Brad comes home and he's like, well, let's just try to feed a bottle to Bear, because I read that some babies will actually drink it even if it smells sour and tastes like soap. It's harmless to them, I guess. And of course Bear just guzzled down like 2 ounces of it. So we might be okay. I think we might survive this. By we, I mean I.